big weekend of recruiting here on Rocky Top. Now, Tennessee's game didn't go the way Tennessee wanted it to, and they lost to Georgia. But the recruits, really good reviews, I think, for a game that Tennessee obviously came up on the short end of the stick. And we'll start with, obviously the big 5 stars, David Sanders, George McIntyre.
Yeah, I think you want to look at the guys that didn't make it in this weekend maybe, but it was a headlining weekend for Tennessee this weekend. One of the best weekends they've had in a long time, and it starts with those 2 guys. George McIntyre here again with his family. He was able to get into town on Friday night, able to enjoy the atmosphere out here today, and I just think Tennessee continues to impress there. I know there's some Alabama interest, and everybody wants to point towards that, but right now I think Tennessee continues to show really well for George McIntyre.
Oh, I agree. I think Tennessee's in a really good spot. Don't think it's done, but he's clearly coming to the end of his recruitment. He'll be back at LSU next weekend for the Tigers game with Texas A&M. That means he'll have been to Alabama twice during the season, Tennessee twice during the season, and LSU twice during the season. I think you're looking at probably a decision sometime in January, maybe February, but I think January is kind of the targeted date in the back of his mind. He's yet to say that officially, but I think that's kind of where we're at as we head down the home stretch in his recruitment. Then there's David Sanders, the 5-star offensive tackle, who's got his pick of the wherever he wants to go in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think for David Sanders, maybe one of the more surprising things for me was we saw him here in camp in the summer, and he doesn't do a lot of interviews. He doesn't talk a lot, but he comes out of the gates saying, Tennessee's been in this for me. They continue to prioritize me. I love the way they communicate. They work along my schedule. I think Tennessee's showing really well in that one right now. Now, obviously, like you said, he can go wherever he wants to go, but I think Tennessee has really put their best foot forward with David Sanders and is a player in that recruitment moving forward.
Those are 2025 players. 2024, Tennessee had 5 official visitors here on the weekend, and it's highlighted and headlined by Jordan Seaton, the 5-star offensive tackle from IMG.
Yeah, it is, and I think for Jordan Seaton, this was a big weekend to get back up here. I think he gets a chance to see a little bit more of the environment, learn more about the program. He was around Boo Carter during the game and around a lot of commitments. They're working really hard on him. Jake Merklinger here working really hard on him.
Speaking of working hard, he missed his flight to get up here, had to be rerouted to Chattanooga, and then a car service brought him to town. So, Tennessee was working hard to make sure he got here.
Yeah, absolutely. And he rolled into town, right before kickoff and got to see the entirety of the game and still had a chance to socialize with everybody. This is an important visit. When you look at it for this cycle, I think this is the guy.
It is. It's the guy. He's the guy.
You can look at the other positions, but this is the guy that's the most important left on the board, and it becomes even more evident from the result here tonight. You need a Jordan Seaton in this 2024
He is
class.
The Nico of this class.
Absolutely.
100%. Then there's Roger Saliapaga, the Utah tight end. Oregon's had a lot of momentum there, but he's not committed to the Ducks and is here on his official visit. And I think Tennessee showed well with a guy that, again, is really close with Nico Iamaleava.
Yeah, I think Tennessee's continued to show whether. I think Tennessee's the team that's laying in the weeds in this one. I think they're quietly in this more than people give them credit for. Obviously, Oregon's done a really good job there. Dan Lanning's programs prioritize him. But I think Tennessee's really worked relationships like the one with Nico. They've built a really strong bond with his family. And I think Roger Saliapaga has had a really good game day here on Rocky Top, to kind of highlight his official visit.
Tennessee with a trio of defensive linemen here, Matt, and Elias Williams, the Missouri commit. That honestly doesn't feel like Missouri. It feels like it's going to be in Tennessee or Alabama. And then those 2 junior college defensive linemen. Tennessee needs help up front because you just don't know who will leave and who will stay.
Yeah, and I think, again, when you look at those 3 guys, I think Elias Williams is probably your priority there. He's a guy that I think Tennessee loves from a frame standpoint, loves what he can do. He's got a lot of upside. And I do think it's more Tennessee and Alabama the more we continue to talk to people. He was here this weekend, had his family here, and I think that was big for him. Hinted around for a little bit that it felt like this one may go into those in-home official visits in December, but we'll see. The more you kind of look into that one, he may go home after this visit. He's seen Alabama, he's seen Missouri, he's seen Tennessee now. He may go home and process this information and knock something out before signing day and those in-home visits. So we'll see where that goes.
He is Matt Ray. I'm Austin Price talking recruiting.